Well, guys, YouTube, if you play Minecraft, your world is about to change. Who would have thought in 3 or 4 days to a week's time things would happen as fast as they did? If you use Bukkit and you use plugins for Bukkit, you've no doubt discovered now that Bukkit is down. Bukkit is down. If you use Spigot, you probably can still download Spigot. It's still there, I think, but they've been served. And if you use Cauldron, if you use any Bukkit derivative, pretty much your world is about to change, and very, very badly. I use Bukkit derivatives for my server. I run Cauldron, and I used to run Spigot, and I used to run Bukkit, but Bukkit's development was so slow, it was pathetically painstaking. So I went to Spigot, and then I found Cauldron, which gave me forage capability. In the world of servers, things are about to change. Mojang, quite a while back, quietly acquired the Bukkit Project. Bought up their core team, basically. Took Dinnerbone and a couple others, as I recall. Don't get me lying about it, I'm not entirely sure. And they had been very quietly in ownership of it all this time, even though the updates were slow and they were treating Bukkit like a red-headed stepchild, you know, and getting updates out. They were very quiet about not letting people really openly know that Bukkit was owned by Mojang, including one of the developers, apparently, who has just now filed a DMCA against Mojang for a quarter. We find out that over a quarter of the internal code written into Bukkit's core was written by this guy. Well, he filed copyright, which he can, because from what I gather, the code that he wrote was written and contributed under GPL license version 3, being that it's being redistributed now with Mojang's proprietary code, which was in Bukkit, because Mojang pretty much owned it. This supposedly violates the auspices or the terms of GPL version 3, the public license. In other words, what it means is that if another distro of Bukkit is ever put out, if his claim is valid and it holds, Mojang will have to distribute the source for their stuff. You can't distribute GPL code and proprietary code in the same package. So, knowing Mojang and knowing how they don't like what they do really to be public known with their code, the fact that they're so obfuscated, you know, that's not going to fly well with them. I know they're going to fight it. They can probably run this guy's resources dry because they have hundreds of millions, whereas this guy probably... You know what it's like? They got the guy to develop all this stuff, got it up. It's like having sex with a whore, and then when you're done, kicking her out the door without paying her or even giving her cab fare. That's what basically this guy, what they did to this guy. You know, he contributed over a quarter of the code, and they're basically trying to just usurp it, you know, and use it. That's the impression I get, you know. You can't just steal somebody's code like that. The guy put a significant portion of his life into writing that code. And the law is, the minute you write code, that code is yours. It's copyrighted. When you contribute that code, when it is used, it's copyrighted. You own the copyright to any programming you write. It's the way I've been led to believe. And having been somewhat of a programmer myself, I understand that. You know, you don't just steal without even giving them credit or anything. It used to be that way. You know, there was a thing called never reinvent the wheel. You know, if somebody else has code that does it, steal it and use it. But in today's world of copyright, if that person knows that you took his code, he can shaft you pretty hard. And that seems to be what has happened here. You know. So as far as Bukkit goes, I know Mojang doesn't want to give away any of their little internal trade secrets very easily, so most likely Bukkit is dead. If you get a version 1.8 Minecraft Craft Bukkit, you know, good luck with that, but I think Bukkit's days are over as of 1.7.10. So, what alternatives do we have now? Well, Forge is still out there, and Forge is becoming a mature product. In fact, World Edit is being ported even as we speak to Forge. They've got a light loader version for single player that works beautifully. As far as Bukkit, don't update your servers, don't update your clients, or keep a working version of 1.7.10 somewhere off to the side in another profile, because you're going to need that. I don't think, you know, they do have a 1.8.0 compatible version of the Bukkit jar, or at least they did. It doesn't, what they did basically, it's just a translator. 1.8 can connect to it, but it's basically 1.7.2 with a protocol update. It's translating, which means you don't get any of the new blocks or any of the other things. And that's what probably is going to be the thing for 1.8.0. 1.7.10, you're probably not going to see any further development. That's it. There may be a couple of RO2s or RO3. Cauldron did a 1.7.10 version. I suggest you go get it before their downloads are shut down. At least with Cauldron you have Bukkit compatibility, and you also have Forge capability, so you can move as they migrate. You can move your mods over to Forge, you know, your plugins over to that, and use it that way. Otherwise you're going to have to get a vanilla Minecraft server download, and you're going to have to get Forge and install it for server, because the heady days of private server ownership and vast server hosting are probably about to come to an end. You're going to have to pay to play, because it looks like the other thing, and a lot of people say it's conspiracy theories, but knowing what they did, remember back when 1.7.2 came out, and then there was 1.7.4, I forget if it was 1.7.4 or 1.7.9, one of them, you couldn't get anything for it. The Minecraft Coder Pack and Forge and all that was completely delayed, because the person who was in on the Minecraft Coder Pack, the head developer, was bought up by Mojang. And lo and behold, also, Bukkit's developer core bought up by Mojang. So, what does that say? It caused a hideous delay in Forge. Until 1.7.10 came out, we didn't have really a working Forge that was any good for a long time. And Bukkit being mistreated the way it has been and completely ignored tells you a lot. Number one, they wanted Bukkit compatibility for Realms, and they wanted to move all of the public server share over to Realms, and they wanted to play down personal servers hosted on other things. The hosting companies, their butts got to be clenched right now. Bukkit servers, Spigot servers, and some Cauldron servers were the bread and butter of a lot of hosting companies. They were charging people to host. You know, there's going to be a lot of these little hosting companies that are going to close their doors and dry up if they don't fix this problem. And you think it's bad now, you wait until lawsuits start coming out, lost wages, lost income, you know, things like that, other damages that this is going to cause to the companies that host these servers. You know, this is a big, ugly thing. The best thing Mojang can do right now is take that quarter of that code that he wrote, strike it out of there, go and take some of those millions of dollars, which you only need a few $100,000 maybe. Go find you some code monkeys and recode that shit quick, because otherwise this guy is going to ream you for everything you're worth. So And they're out there. I mean, look at it this way. You can do for Minecraft what ArcEMU did for Warcraft. There are Warcraft private servers out there. ArcEMU is a complete rewrite. It's its own Warcraft server with compatibility, you know. So who's to say you couldn't do some kind of an ArcEMU type thing for Minecraft? You don't necessarily need to know how Minecraft serves up all that code. You just need to know the protocols, and then you develop your own server using those protocols. You might even come up with a better server than what Mojang did, and just make it compatible with Minecraft. Another good example, Second Life. You couldn't even fart in Second Life without having to pay money for it. So some people out there in the open source world said, you know what? Let's create OS Grid. OS Grid is a sim that is compatible with the Second Life viewer. You can go on any OS Grid server with the Second Life viewer, log in, and there you go. You know, there you go. It's not Second Life, but it uses their protocols to talk to the viewer, you know. As far as I know, there's no copyright on protocols. You know, anybody can use a protocol. The point of a protocol is it's a common communication, a common way. So, and I might have lied there inadvertently, but that's basically how they did it. They went even so far as to create the Hippo viewer. The Hippo viewer, basically, you can go on Second Life with it, but it was made for OS Grid, so they had their own viewer, and they had their own open source sim that was free. You could set up your own Second Life compatible server, and they got away with it. And they're still, as far as I know, OS Grid is still out there. So why not do it with Minecraft? If all this crap is going to happen because Mojang is getting greedy and this other guy is getting greedy and they're fighting each other over this, or the other guy, the way I see it, he wants it all to be open source, and this was a linchpin he put in there to try to do it. But I don't see him having the financial resources to back it up. What needs to happen is somebody needs to write a Minecraft compatible server that can do what Minecraft can do, but does it with its own code. I know there's people out there intelligent enough to do this. If they did OS Grid to complement Second Life, then why not do something to complement Minecraft? You can use the Minecraft client to log into it. For that matter, the other thing that needs to happen, and really fast, because this could spell the end for it if it gets too far out of hand, somebody needs to create an authentication server that you can set up on your computer so that you can reroute to it through hosts or something else, so that Minecraft clients don't have to go through Minecraft.net to authorize, because I really do think that the end is coming. I really do think. And anybody that doesn't go to the Bukkit forum and read it, go to the Spigot forum and go to the Cauldron website and read all this. The community is in an uproar over it, and it's almost akin to what happened when WinMX got shut down. You know, there was a huge WinMX community. You know, back before Ares got really popular. And when MX got shoved to the curb in one night, man, they shut them down. There's still ways to do it. The WinMX servers supposedly are still up in some island nation somewhere, but, you know, that's another topic for another day. If they can't settle their differences, I'll tell you right now, this is going to kill Minecraft at some point. So what you can do right now, if you want to keep playing, go get Forge, go download the latest version of all the servers you can get. Decide which one you're going to run, but keep the other ones as backups in case something craps out. I'm settling in on Cauldron. They've got a 1710 RO1. I think they have an RO2 out, because it gives me Forge capability, so even if the Bukkit end of it dries up, I still have my Forge mods, which are the best ones anyway, you know, custom NPCs and furniture mod and all that other stuff. And World Edit's coming. It'll be coming to Forge soon, I hope. They better. They're going to lose their shirt if they don't. The only other thing they support is Bukkit, you know, as far as servers go. And if this is an indication, Bukkit's going to be gone not long from now. Unless Mojang figures out a way to secretly carry it on. Maybe they'll come out with a new one that's Bukkit plugin compatible, who knows. But it's looking bad. But I want y'all's opinion on this. But don't just go down there and blindly comment. Do what I did. Go read the forums. Go see what's happening. It's freaking crazy. It's a David and Goliath story. It's a complete David and Goliath. You know, you think something is too big to kill, you're looking at a David versus Goliath here. And that's what's happening. So, do go check it out. And then let me know what you think. And hey, if you're running a server, now's the time to go to Bukkit.org right now. Get all the plugins that you need for your server and get them now, because God knows how long that thing's going to be up. And all that stuff is going to be scattered to the wind, and that'll be it. You know, I guess we're all going to have to go back eventually to whitelisted vanilla servers. You know, that's what it's looking like. But anyway, I'm going to upload this tonight. I want y'all's opinions. I tried to get in touch with my friend Styx. I have a server over there that he had running on his. I don't think he even knows what's going on. So, I need to get in touch with him tonight. Hair. Blah. But it's looking pretty rough. Chime in, say something. Anyway, that's it. Take care, YouTube. This video is getting long.